Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about a pressure that I felt for a long time as a university student. That is the idea that we must get everything figured out before graduating from university. I'm 21 years old and I just finished my junior year in university, and I'm currently having 1 year away from university as a gap year before getting into my final year. In the society I live in, people often say, you can enjoy your life until graduation, and you will lose your freedom after that. Because of this, students are encouraged to hang out a lot and have fun while they can. When people talk in this way, university students kind of feel like we have to get our future figured out to some extent before graduation. And not little amount of students struggle and get pressured because of that. And I used to be one of them too. And I admit that part of me is still feeling the same way. But I just recently started to think that the idea that we have to get everything figured out before graduation is not always the case. Today I will share my thoughts and experiences on this topic and how I started to free myself from this pressure and what I've learned along the way. It actually took me about 2 years of my university life to come to this conclusion, and I'm going to share everything with you here. One thing I just realized recently is that it is okay to not have your future planned before graduation. Plus, what you decided to do as a career after graduation is not necessarily what you would do for the rest of your life. Life doesn't stop after university. You still have time to explore and grow. You can literally start new things at any age. While working as an English teacher, I met people who decided to study abroad in their 40s or 50s. Some people were working while attending university online for better life. There is no single timeline for success. If there is something you love, you literally have to start working on it as soon as possible, because today is the youngest you will ever be. Don't ignore your passion. Liking something is a valid reason to pursue it. And if you don't know what you love yet, that is fine too. You don't have to pressure yourself to figure it out by a certain deadline like graduation. Sometimes it just takes time and exploration. Most importantly, life can always be different from your expectation. Even if you feel like you got everything figured out, life can always change. I'm only 21 years old, so I don't have lots of examples on this. But for example, when I was 16, I was in high school, and I needed to decide which university I want to go as soon as possible to get enough time to prepare for it. I planned to become a pharmacist, and I felt like I got my future figured out. Like, when I become a pharmacist, I'm gonna be financially stable, and pharmacists are needed almost anywhere, so I'm gonna be needed. I will never lose my job, like that. But that plan failed soon after that. And here I am today. I'm never studying to become pharmacist, but I'm doing languages, and I still haven't got my future figured out yet. But that is alright, I guess. I chose a university where I can learn languages, and I majored in Vietnamese simply because it interested me at the time. Without any deep thoughts, I just followed my heart and followed my intuition. But when I started university, I felt lost. I felt the weight of expectations from teachers in university, from society, and everything. Pressures are like, you have to secure a stable job before graduating in Japanese society. You have to decide on a career on early stage so that you can put effort in right direction. It is often said that gaps in employment after graduation can make it harder to get hired. These kind of pressures. I don't really know how it works in other countries, but in Japan, society expects students to secure a job before graduating, and you usually start job hunting in junior year. And if you don't, it's kind of a problem unless you have a reason for it. If you have a gap of 1 year, 1 or 2 years without working, company's gonna ask you, what have you been doing? And if you don't have a clear answer, it can hurt your chances. This made me feel like I have to make a perfect decision about my career before graduating, and I didn't want to make any mistakes. So I started taking actions to figure out my path. So here's what I did for the first 2 years in university. I tried many part-time jobs, hoping discover what I wanted to do, who I actually am. I worked in a bar because I like talking to strangers, and I also hope their life stories will give me insight into my future. And I got teaching jobs both online and in person because I enjoyed helping people through my own experiences. And I also like talking to students. And I also got a chance to work as a mascot performer. This is not for figuring out my future, but it's because simply it's been my dream job since when I was a kid. And that experience was amazing. I truly enjoyed making people smile by dancing and making funny movements. So it was a good experience. I also worked as a staff in stadium, like sports stadium, and I literally didn't enjoy it. This job was the worst for me because you just do what you are told to do and you don't get to talk to people, you just do simple tasks. I was sleepy all the time while working here, so it was not for me. Through all these experiences for 2 years, one thing became clear is that what I like to do and what I don't. I love interacting people, helping others, and I hated simple work, just doing what I was told to do. But the problem I faced on this phase is that I still haven't got my clear goal to my future, what I wanted to go for, and the answer to what I needed to do for my future self. At least, meeting a lot of people changed me, and I got new perspectives on various things after hearing lots of life stories and meeting both good and bad people. Even though I didn't get what I wanted to get, I don't regret what I did for these 2 years. But one thing I regret in these 2 years is that I put my Vietnamese aside, even though that was my big interest and passion when I chose university. For these 2 years, I didn't really study by myself. I just focused on completing my homework and getting credits in my university, and I didn't study for myself. I especially regret it when I got a chance to study abroad in Vietnam. So as a conclusion overall, I was happy with what I did, but I was more like stressed because I spent my 2 years for searching for career guide for my future. I also read books and did research about it, but I never got what I expected myself to figure out. And at that point, I already spent 2 years of my university life just to figure out what I wanted to do. And I ended up not getting the answers that I wanted and a little bit of regret that I didn't do what I wanted to do just because I was too worried about my future. In the end of my sophomore year, I met a person who gave me a new perspective, and that eventually saved me from endless looking for my true self project. So here's what happened. Through a friend at the workplace, I met a 27-year-old who had a stable job at a famous company, a company that everyone knows and admires. But here is what he did. One day, while working around Tokyo, he suddenly found what he wanted to do through some advertisement. And the next day, he told his boss that he wants to quit. His new career was risky in terms of financial stability. It's the opposite to his previous job. His new job had a potential to make him rich if he succeeds, but also it had no stability. In addition to it, his career was different from the traditional career that would look good on resume. But when he started his new job, he fully believed in himself and enjoyed what he was doing, even though he was not successful yet. He told me, even if things don't go well, they will be great memories for my future successful self. Even though he's already graduated and nearly 30 years old, he never showed any concerns about his future, unlike me. He was like, what's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, but everything will be alright because it's me. To me, at that time, his confidence and optimism were eye-opening. He showed me that some people don't have everything figured out, yet they still take action and embrace uncertainty. Even though he worked in a really good company, he said he's been searching for what's better for him, like what is truly meant for him. One day he found the answer for it, and he was willing to take a risk to go for what he felt inspiration and excited with. He took action right where he found what he wanted to do, even if he's not sure yet how far he can go and where that decision is going to take him. And this is what I learned. You can always change the direction of your life depending on you. After meeting him, I realized that I was overcomplicating everything. I was too focused on perfectly figuring out my future until the deadline, and I was getting lost because of that. But in reality, people just take action and figure things out along the way, and they are free to go for whatever they want at any timing in their life. And I finally realized that what I needed was to not perfectly figure out my future, but what I needed was really simple. I just needed to find a way to support myself financially. And if I get my financial stability got secured, I can just do whatever I like to do. Or maybe if I keep doing what I like, that can be my career eventually in the future. I was like, why didn't I just realize this simple thing? And I finally felt like, okay, now I'm ready to go back to do what I like to do. So here's my conclusion. I will keep doing what I like until the end of this year because I'm free thanks to this gap year. And next year, I will seriously consider my job. As a possibility, I might continue teaching English because I like it, but I'm not sure yet. Anyways, hopefully in the near future, I will enjoy what I like to do as a job and I will live a life that I like. Now I no longer feel pressure to get everything figured out. I realize that my career will not define me. I am more than that. You too. Your career is not definition of you. Your experiences, choices, and the way you live will define you. I just realized I should have done what I like to do. Even if doing what I love doesn't immediately turn into a job, but I think it's still worth pursuing because I'm living my life. So now I'm no longer afraid to follow what excites me. So if you are ever feeling lost or pressured to have everything figured out, take a step back. Try different things. Talk to lots of people because the more you know, the more options and perspectives you have, and that's gonna help you. You choose what you think is the best for you because life is different for everyone and everyone is different in their own way. If you still haven't found what you like, you search for it. It might come soon or takes years like the guy I met, but I think you can find it as long as you keep questioning yourself what you like and what's meant for you. But time is going by, it can never go backwards, so we should not give up questioning ourselves what's better and what's best for us, and we have to take action when we find it. Because if we don't, we are gonna regret. Hey guys, I just remembered one more thing while editing. One more thing I learned from that person earlier is that we have to ask ourselves, what do I want to do? Instead of asking what is possible for me. Oh no, it's falling off. Ask yourself, what do you want to do if you can do anything, if anything is possible for you? Take away all the limitations and try to hear your honest feeling. And that's gonna be your true answer. You start working on it before it's too late and you have to regret. Okay, now I think that's enough for this video. Thank you so much for listening to this long speech. And I'm really hoping that was something beneficial for you. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye bye.